Hello from Southern Arizona. This is Laura in the Yarn Closet. Come here, Mitzi. Come on. Hi. Mitzi says hi too. I just got home. Spent the morning in Tucson with my dad. Okay. I love you, Goo. I love you too. Give him the good big ears. Give him the good big ears. Mom, you're holding me funny. Can't give you kisses. Okay, I love you too. Yeah, love you too. Okay, go lay down. Oh, my neck's a little sore. So I got a haircut today. I love it. But she didn't even style it. When I left, it was just wet. So it's a little floofy and funky, and I don't even care. I don't even care. I mean, it's a little staticky now. Because I just like it shorter. I like it to do something, to have some movement to it. I don't care anymore if it makes me look older. I am older, whatever. I am older. I mean, I was 49 years old and I wore a size 6 pants. I feel more fit today than I did then. I am 53 and a half. But I'm now in a 10. Most of the time I'm comfortable in a 10. I can fit in the 8s. There's a few 8s I've got. Most of the time I'm comfortable in a 10. I have a couple of 12s. But it's because of the way that our body changes right here. It gets bigger. And it's not that I'm super big. Okay, I don't like showing that. But I feel really fit. I was thinking about that with the stuff that I do. I haven't been doing my vibrating plate as much as I'd like to. But I feel really fit. And I was expecting this to be here. The cut that I wanted was here. And then now it's here, which is okay, but it's still not quite perfect. Because if I wanted it this short, I would have wanted the back differently. I mean, this is what we talked about. You go in and you put your finger here, and then this is what you get. There's like space between where my finger is and where the hair is. So, men don't understand. When it'll grow. Yes, it will grow. So I have another haircut thing planned in July. I may not even have to go because it may not be long enough for me to go. But it was a day. We had some problems with the van. Turned out to just be the battery. But because we'd had other problems in the past with the van, we thought it was something else. But then it really isn't the battery. We just needed to be jumped, but it's really not the battery. We went and had it checked out. So now we're trying to figure out, what do we do? Because honest to God, you save money if you just keep your vehicles. But when you're driving elderly people around and kids around, you can't be breaking down. So this is a big issue, plus the fact that we don't have just a bundle of money sitting there in case there's a problem. And we don't have money in the budget to be doing some $300 to $500 a month payment. So I don't know what's going to happen. But we are starting to talk about, see, this length, it's just a little bit different from where it was when I put my in. It just seems a little bit better. I think it would have been fine down here, but I think it looks really good when it's right up here at my chin versus down here. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care anymore. I just want to feel like I can style my hair and that there's a style to it. That's what I really care about. I did finish the yellow blanket. I will be giving it away tomorrow. Here we go. Here we go. Let's back it up. Move my chair. So, it's about this wide by this tall. I am down here. So it's over 6 feet long and it's about 3.5 feet wide. So it's an interesting size. I would have liked it better if it had been a little bit wider. And it's certainly not perfect by any stretch. I'm blind. What do people expect? But I can give it away tomorrow and make some happy. And I'm going to probably wear these same clothes tomorrow at school. And 20-pound weight thing. Somebody said, what do you do with that bar? So I have it in one of my playlists that I believe is public. You keep your back straight and you keep it against your body and you move from like your hip bones down. I also do this. I have not been consistent enough because of headaches and illness and everything else to do that. I do some overhead pushes. So I don't know that I've gotten much benefit out of it yet. My knees are bent, but I am trying to do some basic moves that engage more than just like my arms, that really engage my back, my biceps, my triceps. This one you can go down far enough that you feel it in your legs. It kind of stops you. I do think that I need to do more with it and that I would have some better results if I was doing more. And someone said, what about a pushed out row? I think this is what they're talking about because they were talking about down. I just don't feel much. And I gotta tell you, I can't do this in the morning. So I'm doing my weighted vest for at least a full mile, 2 to 3 times a week. I usually am walking 2 miles most mornings before school. I'm gonna have to get up quite early because someone was telling me that for doing squats, I should actually be holding it like this. But this seems ridiculous to me. My chair isn't farther enough away. It seems absolutely ridiculous. And for someone with neck and back issues, I think starting with a 20-pound bar is just fine. And somebody was saying, well, isn't that a waste of money if it's not a barbell? Okay, barbells are about 45 pounds themselves if you do a real one. And so I'm okay with not hurting myself and starting here. And then apparently there are some different kinds of weights that you can get that not officially go on that can go on that to increase the weight and be relatively safe. See, I like this hair. I like this hair. I don't care if it's oily hair. Makes me see my happy face and my cheeks all of a sudden. Some of the squares on this blanket I bought on eBay. Some of them I did myself. After I washed it, you can absolutely tell the difference because a lot of ends were popping out. That is the risk that you take when you buy the eBay ones. But who cares? It was worth my time. And this summer, just doing some more blankets, I guess. My daughter will start 5th grade on July 23rd. She will have to carry all of her school stuff in her backpack with her because they will switch classes every hour in 5th grade. It's almost as if their middle school is 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Although they're not involved with the middle schoolers per se. They lunch with the 4th graders. Their special classes are the middle school special teachers, but they don't mix with any other grade levels. Some of the sports that they're allowed to try out for and the cheerleading that they're allowed to try out for would be cheerleading with middle school. I don't know how I feel about that. I prefer grade school to end at 6th grade and middle school to be 7th and 8th and 9th. And then high school to be 10th, 11th, and 12th. That's my preference. But nobody asked me. So this is the way it works and this is the way it's going to be. I have a headache. The wind was so bad the last few days. I couldn't even do my whole walk yesterday. And my daughter and I were outside doing some rock painting. And I had to, see, and the wind is starting up again. I had to get her to come in and she had to take some extra allergy pills. She takes allergy pills daily as it is. It was so frustrating me. Hi, little one. Hi, little one. Hi, little one. Hi. You're happy I'm going to be home for summer. So, I don't know. So that's been my week. I just wanted to get on as quickly as possible and show you the lovely hair and the blanket. And there's a really good chance that the hair is going to stay roughly this. Because I like it. Makes me feel perky. Even if it doesn't look the best, it makes me feel perky. And it's something that I can manage, even though trying to get out to get haircuts is difficult. Now that I've got a teacher at school that can stay after at times and cut my hair for me, that will make it much better. Yeah. I will say this, one of the things in doing research for the working out with weights as an over 50 person, there's a couple of these guys who are like, yeah, do 3 sets of 20. There's no way I can do 3 sets of 20. If you are starting out, be realistic with yourself. At our age, err on the side of caution, because you don't want to err on the side of hip replacement or knee replacement or broken wrist or something like that. Like, slow it down. I'm frustrated that I'm not really seeing the results with the weighted vest and this weighted bar business, but I've only had them a few weeks and I'm really taking it slow at ramping it up, which in my old days, I would have never done, but I would have possibly hurt myself. Like, part of why I think my neck is wonky is because I used my weighted vest yesterday. And So I think we do have to be a little bit more conscientious of what we're doing and gracious with ourselves. I'm feeling, although it frustrates me that my size is getting so big and trying to buy clothes is frustrating for me, I don't think I look like a big, huge, crazy person. I look like a fit person. I feel fit. I've got a reasonable amount of stamina, I think, for my age. It's very hard to trade in the mindset of my entire life, which was to be thin. That thin, to be twiggy, to be thin was the epitome of what a woman should be. Thin, thin, thin. Flat, tiny, flat, tiny, flat, tiny. Well, this part of my arm is getting bigger. I can't help it. It's just part of the game right now. And no result is going to happen overnight. I have finally, almost 4 months into the game, managed to get my steps up to greater than the average that I had last year. And that makes me happy. And we have to find a way. I was talking with a lady this weekend. As women, like, how do you actually, what are coping skills? How do you actually cope? She had a global transischemic amnesia attack. And she's about 15 years older than me. And she had just come under a huge amount of stress because one of her sick kids got cancer. And she's like, they just kept talking to me about stress and about coping skills and how do you cope with it. And I said, well, it's something I work with my kids on because we weren't raised to understand what coping skills were. And if that was thrown at you, you thought that was some kind of magic that you did in your brain. But coping skills are drinking enough fluids, getting enough sleep, like consistently drinking enough fluids, getting enough sleep, having a reasonably good diet, getting outside in the sunshine, and having a little bit of physical activity every day. Like those are actually your best coping skills right there. Real life does happen. Today, I was supposed to do something entirely different on the whole seeing dad business today, and had to have a really hard conversation kind of in passing that we'd started over the weekend because real life happened. So that's the best thing I can share with you. Other than, if all you've got is online connection, do your best to make it as big as possible. Do some of those Zoom meetings, do some of those online YouTube lives where you're chatting with other people. Do whatever you can to make it as big as possible. Because if that's all you've got, I've been there. Right now, the only reason that I'm slightly better is because I have this one lady that I count on every day, and some of the other ladies that come and go, teachers and stuff that I chat with. I wish I could get back to a balance with some of my online stuff and the kids and the this and the that. But the reality is we all have a lot on our plate nowadays. Most of us did have our kids later in life. Or they're old enough that you're now dealing with substantial grandchildren issues. I mean, I got puberty, I got graduation, I got elderly major health concerns, elderly minor health concerns, elderly moderate health concerns, and a husband with health concerns. I got animals to contend with, finances to deal with, and like not a lot of friends. And it's really hard, and we all just have to do the best we can, and that's why I appreciate this corner of the internet so much. The Yarn Closet may not be the biggest place in the world, but the people in it have the biggest hearts. And even the ones who just comment on the dog and cat videos. It means so much. I love some of the conversations I've had there, and I appreciate you so much. So thank you for subscribing, and thank you for sharing and liking and doing all the clicks. So have a great day. Look with your heart first, not your eyes. And we will see you again next weekend.